Okay. Hi guys, how you doing? I am back. The gremlins are not going to get the better of me. My name is Jacqueline-Francis, author, award-winning speaker and educator. And today I would like to talk about Blind Spot Anthology. So as I said, I'm an author and I'm inviting Feyi Ventures, who is also a co-author in Blind Spot Anthology Volume 2. So as I wait for her to jump on, um, I'll just quickly talk about my part in Volume 1. So Volume 1 was compiled by Sonia Polian, and there were 16 writers. So for those of you who do not know what an anthology is, it's where a group of people come together and they write a chapter. And they write a chapter of about, say, about 3,500 words. Well, it was in this instance. And so each person wrote a chapter and Sonia compiled the book together to create an anthology. So that's what an anthology is. So once that's been created, you then become a published author. Yeah. So that's what I did. This is volume 1. I'm waiting for my guest, Feyi Ventures, to come on because I interviewed her back in July when she was writing her chapter of her journey or her story. And she's, really excited about it. And we promised that we'll come back once the book has been published, once the book launch is over. And that's now been done. We're now in October. Her book launch was in September. And I'm really quite excited to exchange notes, so to speak. So, Feyi, would you like to I can't see you anywhere. If it's to your broadcast. I can't see you anywhere. So please do let me know if you're able to come back on. I know that we were having some problems earlier on, but, we will persevere. We've talked about bits and pieces of, my story in Blind Spot Anthology Volume 1. And for those of you who don't know, my story is called Green Eyes, and it talks about my how I was ostracized and rejected by my siblings for many, many years, and I couldn't quite understand why. And when I, put that question to them, I didn't really get any answers. So to be rejected, I mean, we are social beings, aren't we? We're social animals. So to be rejected from a group of people, it's not very nice, is it? It sort of like leaves you out in the cold. Hello, Papa Ray. Thank you very much for joining me. It sort of leaves you out in the cold. So that's my story of how, the challenges that I had to go through in order to get through the other side. I'm just talking about, for those of you who come back on the replay, I'm expecting my guest Feyi on today, and we're going to be exchanging notes as to how she went about writing her chapter in Blind Spot Anthology Volume 2. And we will be exchanging notes because I'm in Volume 1. So I think that will be very interesting. And also for those who are interested in maybe writing a book themselves, but not quite sure how they go about doing that. Raz, yes, of course you can, Raz. Can I inbox you for some info on publishing? Of course you can, and I'm sure we'll be happy to oblige if we can answer the questions. If we can't, then we will refer you to anyone that can. So I can see that Feyi is on, so I'm just going to see if I can get her. I'm just going to approve that, Feyi. Get the better of us this evening, and you'll be able to come on. So it says it's adding. We've done all the necessary things that we're meant to do. So hopefully she'll be able to join us. So yeah, as I was saying, if anyone is interested in being an author, a published author, then, if you're not quite sure what to do or how to go about it, the first step for you may be just to write a few thousand words alongside other writers who may be in the same place as you, not quite sure what to do. And I think that would be the best way to start, really. Yeah, because that's what I did. You know, we all say we want to write a book, we want to write a book, and we never seem to get round to it. Because I know I've been saying that for ages, and I never seem to get round to it. But it wasn't until this incident, this experience, this journey that I'd gone through with my siblings. I was, to be perfectly honest, I was angry. I was angry, but I needed to let it out. And oh, I ended up letting it out by writing it down and contributing to Blind Spot Anthology Volume 1. And as I said, it was very cathartic for me to do that. So if you guys can bear with which I've been doing for a while now, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. So yeah, so if anyone out there is interested, who has a story, who may be going through something that's holding them back in their life because they're afraid of being judged, or they're afraid of you know of what other people may think of them. Do you know what I mean? Or they don't want to upset family members. That's quite a common one, not wanting to upset family members. If you want to write your story, it's your story. And if they don't believe your story, or say that you shouldn't write your story, then they are controlling you, because it's something that you need to get out of you in order for you to move on. So I would, only if you're at that place, you have to make that decision to put it out there. So Feyi, I am trying to get you on. I don't know what's happening. It's not even allowing me to add you at this precise moment in time, but we will continue. If you want to be a published author in 2019 and you're not sure how to go about it, the first place to start would be to write a chapter in an anthology, because that's how I started. And once I wrote, sorry, I'm just trying to add Feyi here. Once I wrote my chapter, it was almost as if, this huge weight has been lifted. So if you are actually going through something and you're tired of carrying that emotion on your back, Feyi says, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on either. But we'll try a couple more times. I'm just going to prove you again now and add you, and we'll see what happens. So when you write a book, it can take you anywhere where you want it to take you. I know that when I wrote my chapter in Blind Spot Volume 1, I ended up writing. I haven't even got it here because it wasn't even about me. It was about Feyi and writing her book. So if you just bear with me, just quickly get my book here. Yeah. So Feyi, it's still saying it's adding. So yeah, once I wrote my chapter in the anthology, I went on to write my own book, and this is my own book, and it's called Walk Quiet, Run Quick, and it talks about unhealthy relationships. It's a fictional book as well. Who knew that I could write fiction? But it's a fictional book, so it can spur you on to do anything that you want to do. Feyi, I'm just going to try and add you again. So I really don't know what's happening. I appreciate those who jumped on initially, and for those who are probably still with us, I'm not quite sure who, because I can't quite see. But yes, if you have any questions with regards to being a published co-author, then please do get in contact. I know that Feyi is also going to be writing her own anthology. I wanted and talk about her chapter, and what is she going to do next? How difficult was it to write the story? Because you've got to go back to that place where you've buried it deep inside, and that's what a lot of us have been doing or are doing. We're burying these stories inside, hoping that it will disappear. But when you really think about it, that story that you've built inside you, that you've buried inside you, that's probably dictating how you're living your life now. Do you know what I mean? And I say that because you're afraid of what family members may say. Oh, thanks, Raz, for still being with me. Thank you. I don't know what's happening with Feyi. I'll try her again and see and everything like that. It says it's add-in. So for those of you who will join us on the replay, my name is Jacqueline Francis. I am an author, award-winning speaker and educator, and I'm here waiting for my guest Feyi Ventures so that we can share and exchange notes on Blind Spot Anthology because I'm in volume 1 and she's...
Hey, Jacqueline! Woo!
Finally!
Hi.
Boom! How
We
are
made
you?
it. I'm very
did.
well. How are you?
I'm
struggling to
fine.
hear you somewhat, so please bear with me. I'm going to try and turn up the volume,
Okay.
but I think it's because of the, us connecting and everything else. Who knows?
Well, we got there in the end. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Faye. Do you know what? After our conversation back in July, when
Yes.
you were talking about your book, I've waited for this day. Exactly. So
It's exciting.
if you just like to introduce yourself to our viewers, thank you for coming back. For those who came back, who were on the first one, thanks
Yes,
for coming
thank
back.
you so much. Oh, okay, let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Feyi Jegaday. I'm an author, inspirational speaker, coach slash trainer, an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, because I have like 2 businesses now, and I'm also the founder of Rise Empowerment. Woohoo!
Wow. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Rewrite your story empowerment. Yeah.
Yes, and I was just saying to our viewers while I waited for you, I was just talking about me being in Blind Spot Volume 1, and
Yes.
I don't even know where to go first because I'm so excited, but I want you to share your story in Volume 2, and then afterwards we can exchange notes and see how it went for both of us. So,
Oh,
yes,
thank you, my
tell me about
darling.
the chapter of your story.
So thank you to everybody that are listening. Thank you for coming back. I really, really appreciate you being patient with both myself and Jacqueline. As Jacqueline said, I shared my story in Blind Spot Volume 2. And one of my chapters in there was sharing my story of my past hurt, which was of my husband walking out of the marriage suddenly, and I became a single parent overnight. So I was left with 3 children, a newborn baby, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And the challenges I ended up, having to face following that, adversity, financially, losing my home, becoming homeless. So that's what the chapter was about. That's my story in a nutshell.
Right, okay. I know that we don't want to give too much away because obviously we want people to go and buy your book, you know. So, how can I phrase this? So, let's go back to July when you were planning, and how many words did you write in the anthology in your chapter?
I wrote 3,000 words. So I
3,000
wrote
words.
3,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, that was then edited, and it was, as I said, getting my story out there in my own words, with my own, knowledge, my experience, what I went through, and the emotions that were stirred up during that time.
Mm.
So
And
yeah,
how many?
3,000 words.
So did you struggle to write 3,000, or was that quite easy for you?
To be honest, I think because I wanted to write my own story, I want to write my own book, my own, story biography. So this being part of the anthology was that start. That was the start that I needed. So although I was starting writing my own book, being part of the anthology was just another push that I needed. Because sometimes we say we want to get things done and we don't. But for me, it was that push I needed. And did I find it hard? Yes, I did. And it was a mixture of yes and no. Yes, because all of a sudden it stirred up emotions that I thought had been buried.
Yes.
So that was one of
Yes.
the, powerful things about writing it. I was kind of shocked to find myself getting overwhelmed, emotional, crying. But it was a great thing because it was cathartic at the end of the day. So
And that's
that was
the
the
word that
hard
I
part.
use. Yeah, and that's the word that I
Yes.
use, cathartic, definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, and then so the good side of it is the cathartic experience, because when it came out of that is what we're going through now, and it's given both myself the confidence to now venture into my own anthology, and I'm sure for you it's just pushed us both to realize that there's so much we can now do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, so how many people are in your anthology?
The one that I did,
Hmm.
my blind, do you mean my blind spot?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, there were 13 people, and there were 13 of us in that anthology.
Right,
And
okay.
we had, yeah, and everyone had a chapter, and everyone shared their story, and everyone had a bio as well.
Right, okay. So because we take it for granted that people know what an anthology is, you know,
Yeah.
and I was just saying before, it's a group of writers who want to write a book, but not quite sure how. But this is a good way
Yes,
to start to write a book because 3,000
absolutely.
words, I mean, it sounds like a lot, really, you
But
know,
it
but if
isn't.
you take your time, it isn't, because once you start writing, the words start to flow.
Very
Did you find
much.
that?
I do.
Yeah.
I did find that, and I agree with you. The words start to flow, and because you're explaining and you're expanding on your experience, almost you'll find that 3,000 words is not enough. So that's probably what you'll find happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine
Yes,
was
yes,
ended up being
definitely.
so much that I had to condense it.
So did I. So did I. So
I think you told me yours
both
was
books.
7,000.
Yeah, yeah. I just, as you said, you know, the words just start to flow because you're putting things
Yeah,
into context and then you're remembering bits and pieces. But you know,
yeah.
as you say, you've got to you've got to cut it down to 3,000. Otherwise, it'd be unfair if you know you've written 7,000 and someone else has only written three. You know, but then there were people
Exactly.
who struggled to get to the 3,000.
Yeah,
You know, but it's it can be life changing because now, as you
very.
said, you've written. I mean, the book launch was fabulous. You know, I mean, I enjoyed it. Did
Kudos
you
to
enjoy it? How
Sonia.
did the book? Tell the audience what the book launch was for you. How was it for you?
Oh, it was an amazing experience. It was so exciting. You know, the build up of, finally being able to stand with my book in my hand, being applauded for this achievement, because writing a book is an achievement, you
Oh
know,
yes,
and so
yes.
many people want to do it, and not many people have done it. So
Mm,
standing there and, being able to hold that book in my hand was really, for me, I felt like a great achievement
yeah.
considering how far I'd come, and I felt very emotional as well,
Mm, yeah,
and I was
yeah.
holding back some tears.
I mean, you know, I can relate. If people are watching and think, oh, what does she know? I can relate because here is my volume one. Put up your volume two.
Yes,
There's
here's
yours.
my volume 2.
And there's volume two. Yay! So both books
Beautiful.
have, yeah, absolutely. I love that color. I love the color design. So,
Yes, I love the color here, and I love yours as well. I love the
yeah.
detail.
So both books have been compiled by Sonia Polian. Um,
That's right.
the for the forward on volume one is Lisa Nichols, and for those of you who
Yes,
don't know her, is US transformational speaker, and yours
she
is.
is amazing, motivating
Yeah.
the masses.
Yes, absolutely. And yours has
And
been the
my one was
forward.
compiled by Levi Roots, the
Yes,
amazing entrepreneur, founder of Reggae Reggae Source.
yes. So, yeah, guys, if you
So,
don't know these people, trust me, Google them. You know, they'll probably come at the top
yes,
of Google anyway. So to get those people to write the forward in our books, you know, that's well done to Sonia for doing that.
yes,
Definitely, definitely. So now, actually, she's going on to write, you know, doing a third anthology
that's right.
for Blind Spot. Yeah, yeah. So you've written your chapter, you've got your book out, you're now a
Yes,
published author.
yes.
Where do you go? Where do you go from here? What's next for you?
Wow. Oh, thank you so much. For me, it's very much I want to help other people go through the transition that I went through. And, you know, my transition very much was taking my story. I listened to you earlier. You said that, you know, you can take your story, this anthology, your book, and do whatever you want with it. And that is literally what I'm doing with mine. I took my past hurts and pains, my story, and I've just basically reshaped it and recreated it and rewritten it to be part of an anthology. And now with my own, you know, empowerment organization called Rise, I want to help other people do the same. So now I'm putting together my own anthology, like yourself.
Yes. Well done, well done. You know, because you know, when I was waiting for you to come on, I was saying that yes, I've written my chapter. Where do I go from here? And you know, I went on
Yeah,
to write my own book. You know, which
yeah,
is my fictional romance. You know, because you can go on to write your own book because now you have the confidence. Now you feel empowered. And
yes,
even though I was saying it's fictional, it's there to help other people to highlight the
yes,
red flags about unhealthy relationships. So
yes,
yeah, and I've also gone on to speak, been invited to speak on stage
yes, you
with
have.
regards to the topic of the book. So when
Yeah,
you
you
write a
have.
book, it's
Amazing.
not so much, yeah, and as it's not so much about the book, it's where the book is going to take you, where you want your book to take you, isn't it?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. And I'm very proud of you, Jacqueline.
oh, thank you, thank you. So, you know, you've got your what's your show? What's your show called? Is it Rise? You said Rise
Yes. So
on your
my
Facebook.
I just yeah, my book is called Rise Anthology. This is a working title for the moment. But the empowerment organization is called Rise. So RYSE, Rewrite Your Story Empowerment. That's what it stands for. So I'm really helping other people to rise up to become their best self.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, well, you know that I've started my stop sweeping it under the carpet, and I've had such
Absolutely.
good feedback with that. And it's, you know, it's just like what you said, you know, to help other people because sometimes we can get stuck. You know, I was stuck, and I'm sure you were stuck. And there are times where you bury
Yes.
things and it's not serving you. You know, why would you
Yeah.
want to walk, you know, up and down? Why would you want to live with all the emotions shackled on your back? You know, why would you want to stop
Exactly.
living the life that you want to live because you're scared of being judged or you're scared of, you know, what family members might say or do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? You know,
I
and we're
absolutely
here to
agree.
live
So
the
I'm just
best
tidying
life we
myself up.
can. Yeah, we're here to live the best life that we can. So, you
Yes.
know, I know we came on a bit late. I don't want to sort of like, you know, drag on or anything like that. Thank you, those
Oh,
who have
not at
joined
all.
us.
Not at all.
No, no problem, no problem. So, for those, where can people reach you, Faye? What's your contact details if people want to be part
Okay.
of your
So you can reach
anthology?
me. Yes. If you want to be part of the anthology, then you can reach out to me on Rise. So it's
I
Rise
kind of hear you. I
Empowerment
think the
at
screen's frozen.
gmail.com.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Rise Empowerment.
Okay, so the screen just froze there a minute. Can you just repeat that?
Yes. So you can reach out to me at riseempowerment at gmail.com. So that's RYSE empowerment, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course,
Okay, so
my business name is Busy Mum Workouts. You can also reach out to me there via Messenger and direct message me that way. If you forget Rise, if you forget Rise Empowerment, then you can reach out to me on Busy Mum Workouts. But yeah, they're my platforms.
okay. So yeah, so that's it. So we are now both authors. And when we
Yes,
say that to people, how does it make you feel?
it's amazing. I think for me, I underestimated the the I almost want to say the word kudos or the
I can't
aura.
even hear you.
I
I'm
said
not
I
quite sure what
underestimated the aura that goes with becoming an author. I think I underestimated it because it is a great achievement,
oh
and so
yeah,
many other people want to do it.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
if so yeah, definitely. I mean, I know a friend of mine said, "Oh, you're the first author that I know," you know, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
you know what I mean? So
It's
it is a nice,
amazing.
yeah, it is a nice feeling. It is definitely a nice feeling. And I think when I
Yeah.
say to people that I'm an author now, they're like, "What? You wrote a book?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." You know, that's an achievement, and that's what I want
It
for our
is.
viewers. You know, for anyone out there that
Yeah.
wants to write their story, start
Become
off
a
with that. Start off with small
yes.
steps. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
And I agree with you, Jacqueline. And I do want to say to anyone watching, you want to be part of Jacqueline's anthology or you want to be part of my anthology. I really do believe an anthology is a very good way to start because, as you just said, start. That is the key element of anything in life is the starting. And if you keep thinking about something and holding yourself back, in a year's time, 6 months' time, you would just look back and you're still in the same place. Both
yeah.
Jacqueline and myself started and we have gone through a transformation. Would you agree?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
And
Be-
and so being part of an
That one was
anthology did
published.
that for us.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
volume one was published in February, I think, 2018,
Right.
and volume two published September 2018.
That's right.
So,
September 2018.
yeah,
So
and
your transformation and transition has been so much more rapid because February and we're right now in October, 7 months
mm,
and you've done two, you've written another book, and so it's amazing. Being part of an anthology, I believe, is very much what you said, Jacqueline. It's what you do with it, what you do with your story, and that's what Rise is about. We want to help you reshape it and know what to do with your story.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, any final words or, before we go, if anyone wants to be
Yes,
part of
I
your
just want to
anthology,
say, yeah,
put the link in as well.
I just want to say to people that, don't be afraid of sharing your story. And you don't necessarily have to share every aspect of your life, the 365 degrees of your life, but pick an aspect of your life that you, one, are either comfortable with, or two, you want to address. Because sometimes it isn't always the most comfortable things that we do that bring the best results. It's usually sometimes the uncomfortable, stepping outside of your
Yeah.
comfort zone, that brings the best results in terms of growth, in terms of development, and in terms of becoming that person that you want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, right, co-author. Thank you, Faye,
Co-author.
so much.
And thank you to you, Jacqueline, because I feel like we are more than just co-authors. I feel that Jacqueline and I are like sisters. I feel very much like that because I really am proud of you and I'm proud of everything you've done. And I'm really
Mm,
proud that I can see both of us, going through this journey. And it's almost like we encourage each other. And so
yes.
with joining an anthology, you are going to be with other people that are also going through what you have either gone through, whether it's a story of past hurts, past pains, past mistakes, past failures, and then they're
Mm,
also trying to do something beautiful with it.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And ditto as well. I'm very proud of you because I've seen the journey because from the start as well. Do you know what I mean? And
Oh,
and luckily for you, you've got your kids around you as well to encourage you. You need to be
yes,
accountable. You probably make
my
you accountable
army.
to them or something. Hi, Lily. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just jumping off now,
Thank
actually,
you,
so you can catch us on
Jacqueline.
the replay. So thank you
And thank you
so
for being
much for.
patient.
I mean, come on, that's my middle name, Patience. That's my middle name. So
You suits you very well.
thank
Thank you,
you, thank you.
Jacqueline.
All right, well, we'll catch up soon. So enjoy
Yes.
the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, darling.
Bye. Okay, so that was Faye Ventures, who's now a co-author in Blind Spot Anthology Volume 2. And I'm just so happy for her because I saw her journey in July when she was, writing her story and things like that. Hi, Galia. Thank you for joining us. Um, and I went to the book launch as well, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So if you want to be a published author, like Feyi and myself, and you're not sure how to start, or you're afraid of writing, 40, 50, 60,000 words, why not just start with 3,000 words, 3,500 words? And that's all it takes to write your chapter in an anthology, especially because you're doing it with other writers who too will be writing their 3,000 or 3,500 words. And that's your stepping stone. Start small. And then before you know it, you've compiled a book. So this is volume 1. Feyi is in volume 2. And since writing that chapter, that empowered me to go and write my own Walk Quiet, Run Quick, which is a fictional romance. So Feyi's writing her own anthology. I'm going to be writing my own anthology. So please, if you want any information, Feyi's going to drop her details. Do please get in contact. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the hearts. And for those catching us on the replay, thank you so much. Until next time, take care. Bye.